Hello, welcome beautiful, vibrant souls, excuse me, to this week's Astrocast. So this is going to be looking at the week ahead, which will cover December 19th, 2022 through December 25th, 2022. I want to say happy holidays for, those of you who celebrate any holidays around this beautiful, illustrious time of year. I am super grateful for each and every one of you. You guys are an absolute gift in my life. So yeah, I love you guys. But yeah, hello and welcome back to all my old friends. Hello and welcome to all my new friends. I'm going to give a brief rundown of how astrocasting works for the unfamiliar, the uninitiated, and then we will get started. One more thing before we do start though. Well, two things, I lied. One of which is that I am running a current promotion in my shop for, I'm calling it the Gift of Spirit reading, but essentially what it is, it's a mini read of what is up ahead, like what your 2023 will bring in. I will be doing a full length read as well. This will be a separate option, but the mini read for the Gift of Spirit reading is going to answer that question, and it will be about a 6-card spread. And the proceeds from that reading, which I will link in the description box down below, are going to be donated to a nonprofit dog rescue organization that I have had the pleasure of working with in the past. They all work super duper hard. They, pull dogs out of, really overly crowded shelters, especially those who are slated for the euthanasia list. They really try to pull as many dogs off of that as possible. And, they foster, they place them in their forever homes. They do this really long transport where they will do transport up and down the East Coast. And they work really hard is what I'm trying to say. And I'm super grateful for them, and I wanted to do something special. So this is what I'm offering, is that all the proceeds from the Gift from Spirit reading, and it will be running between now and January 2nd. All the proceeds from that are going to be donated to that organization to help them with their work. So if you have an interest in that, please feel free to check that out, especially where it's only a mini reading. It's something that you can order multiple ones. So if you like the first one, and you want to know more about what 2023 holds for you, that is an option. So that will be linked down below. I had a second point that I was going to make with that. Oh yeah, if that ends up being a popular option as well, I really like the idea of being able to offer some type of philanthropic reading here. So if this ends up being a popular option, I will be extending that and just picking different organizations, nonprofits, charities, etc. Every either couple weeks or every month, so that way all the proceeds are donated there. So keep an ear to the ground if that's of interest to you. And then the second thing I was going to say before we dive in is, I've been doing the Astrocast. I made a goal for myself this year, and I mentioned this in a previous video. I made a goal for myself this year to try to be more consistent, and this was part of that. So I've been doing weekly forecasts, and with the exception of 2 weeks where I was both on vacation and then sick, I've stuck to it, and I was like, woohoo, I'm doing it. That being said, I do like the idea of some type of forecast, whether it's a week ahead, month ahead, etc. And I am also open to suggestions about what that might look like. So please feel free to put it in the comments if you're looking, if you have ideas of things that you would like to see. I always appreciate any content ideas or contributions. Once I hit that magical 1,000 subscribers, I will finally open up community polls and stuff like that, but I don't have that as an option yet. So just, I know we're a small community, but it's one that I love very much. So if there's something you'd like to see, for example, if you'd like Astrocast for, a month ahead instead of just the week ahead, if you prefer that, I can do that. If you prefer them by zodiac sign, I can do that as well. Yeah, there's lots of different options. So if you have any interest in any of that, please feel free to comment your input down below. I read all your comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, you guys are a gift in my life. So I'm going to stop sentimentally babbling at you though. So yes, astrocasting for the unfamiliar, uninitiated. As you can see, we have this circular board here divided up into 12 equal segments. And these represent the 12 houses of the zodiac and their natural areas of rulership. It is worth noting, though, while this is talking about the natural houses and their areas of rulership, this might play out differently for an individual based on their own personal astrology. So if you are looking for an astrocast for yourself, please head over to my shop, the link for which is in the description box below. I don't offer this as a current standard fixture reading in my shop, but if you DM me, I'm happy to make a custom reading. So yes. Natural areas of rulership. What we do here is we reach into our little jar of teeny tiny tarot cards. Look at this itty bitty Queen of Pentacles. Look at her. You guys can, she's so cute. She's so cute. So I reach in blindly, grab cards, and then cast them onto the board and interpret the energy of the cards in the area of life that it corresponds to based on based on where it falls. Okay, we got this. So, I think that's just about everything that I had, and let's get into it for our week ahead. We've been going through some spicy times. I don't know why I'm getting super hard. I'm not looking, but I'm really super hard getting the color green right now, so I don't know if that's popping up as I'm throwing them down. They're all clustered together this time. There's a shitload of birds outside my window today. And this is the last one. They want me to drop this, just right down. Okay. So here we go. Color green might also be significant for somebody. Okay, I thought that was interesting. I'm like, this feels like they want me to drop it in the middle. So the way I usually read is when the card like this, the bottom of the card is facing toward the middle, this is very clearly upright. If it were the opposite way where the top is facing toward the middle, very clearly reversed. If it's dead ass on its side, that's where the energy is in flux. But it looks like everything today is actually pretty all set. So if it falls in the middle, this to me is this energy is kind of at the center of everything for you over the next week. This can also talk about the most important energy. This also, to me, can talk about an energy that we will all experience, but will pop up in very different ways for everyone, right? Very different areas of life, all that jazz. And something I've been doing in the last month and a half or so is kind of honing in on one of the cards to be the central theme or underpinning energy of the week. So we'll see what we have here. But we have the Empress bordering the 9th and 10th house. We have the Three of Swords. I would say mostly in the first house, but I do want to note that it's it's holding hands with the 12th house a little bit. Hang on, I can do this. Oh, nice. We've got the 10 of Pentacles in the 9th house. Fuck yeah, you guys. Good for you. And we have the Magician in the 4th house. This is a great fucking week. Okay, I can't get over it. I'm sorry. I've got a pirate mouth here. And we have, oh no, we were so close. I jinxed it. Shit. We have the 5 of Swords right smack dab in the middle. I would like to clarify, because we have so much good shit here and here, and then we got these two little duds. So I want to clarify the 5 of Swords first and foremost. It is this one. We have Strength. Okay. Okay. And then I kind of want to clarify the 3 of Swords. I'm getting the color blue, so it feels like there's light blue, so it feels like there's truth about this situation that's coming in. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. All right. So, I don't know what that was. We have Leo showing up. We have Gemini and Virgo here, and we have Taurus and Libra here. So take that as it resonates. They don't have to, those don't have to be your placements. These can be significant time frames, other people in your life, etc. So I want to talk about the good shit first, because I think we all need that right now, right? Week ahead. So first of all, this is nice with the 10 of Pentacles and the Empress, especially where it's, we have the holidays that we're kind of all coming up on. So for some of you, especially with this mostly being in the 9th house, you guys might be traveling for the holidays, traveling to go see family. This could be where there's a bunch of your family all gathered together. This will be a very pleasant, abundant time, right? There's going to be a lot to share. I'm hearing the word gratitude, so there's a lot of appreciation going on. If there's been any squabbles or difficulty with family, and I see that here with Strength and the 5 of Swords, I feel like these will be resolved. These will be, this feels like people are mostly just letting it go. This doesn't feel like this is a confrontation. Or a significant, huge, to do. But people are kind of letting it go, even if only for now, right? Only in the name of the holidays and time together, people are kind of you know what? Screw it. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Or you know what? We can figure our stuff out later. Let's enjoy this time right now, right? There's that kind of energy of let's put this to the side. And for, sometimes when that happens, I'm kind of all right, sorry, there's a beautiful blue jay right outside my window. Well, would you look at that? Hey, buddy. Sorry, Blue Jays are becoming signs for me. I don't know why. I have a shitload of cardinals near my house, but I rarely have Blue Jays. He's like digging through the snow outside my house, and he just like flipped a leaf onto his own head, and it's really cute. Oh, it's so cute. I've never seen Blue Jays do this before. Okay, I'm sorry. Nature is amazing. And so are you. So are you, baby. Yeah, so this feels like even, if there's been difficulty, there's been squabbles, there's been, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. It feels like this is going to be like, even if it's just a temporary ceasefire kind of a thing, it's like, okay, I will, let's just like, we'll table it for now. Let's deal with it later. We can figure it out together. And I feel like this is what's needed because sometimes, that can be a tactic that people use to avoid dealing with something and just like kind of hoping you'll forget. Sorry, it's really cute. There's another bird there now too. Sometimes people will do that with the hopes that you'll kind of forget or that they can sidestep the issue. I don't feel like that's the situation here. I feel like this really is about like, hey, let's enjoy our time together. Let's enjoy, let's enjoy the holidays. Let's enjoy family time. And I feel like this is exactly what you guys need to kind of reduce any sort of like relationship inflammation, right? So if you've been squabbling, you've been fighting, because the Five of Swords paired with strength, I see there's been some challenges interpersonally. Sorry if you can hear my bones crack. This is where I think putting it aside for a little bit and just enjoying time together is actually going to be very soothing, very calming, very kind of like anti-inflammatory. So that's the first thing I'm seeing right off the bat. I love that. Now, for some of you, you are getting, with the Empress bordering the 9th and 10th house, you're getting some type of expansion at work. You're getting a promotion. For some of you, you're getting a holiday bonus with the 10 of Pentacles, and this is a nice, like, this is a fat check. And I feel like it's something where it's like perfect, right in time for the holidays, right in time for, the end of the year. There's something where it's kind of like, you might be getting more than you expected. You might be just kind of like getting a little bit of an extra bonus or like some type of extra like monetary compensation. Like I said, for some of you, you'll be getting a promotion. So even if you're not receiving the material abundance yet, you are set up to, you're on track to, you have that information in hand where you're like, hell yeah. Like this energy is like, I'm in my fucking bag. Get on in here with me, baby. Like this is good. This is really good stuff. We like this quite a lot. Now, for some of you, what this combination speaks to, this is a little bit more ethereal in nature, which is interesting because these are both very like grounded energies. But for some of you, what I see here is you've been really working on yourself with the Empress, right? She's all 4 queens of the tarot in one. And regardless of gender, identity, or expression, this is the energy that you're getting into, right? This is, I can manifest anything. I can spin wheat into gold. I can, and we see this as well with the I almost said Hierophant, the magician. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But this is, I can create the life that I want. I can create anything. This is also where you're feeling really good about yourself, right? You're feeling very magnetic, attractive. You're feeling like healed. You're feeling like you are on top of your stuff, right? You are accessing a level of self-mastery. So as a result, some of you with the 9th house, you've really been on this kind of searching journey. This, even though it's not really, the 9th house isn't solely about soul searching, I'm kind of picking up that energy. Or you've been trying to expand your perception. You've been welcoming in new ideas. This is it. There we go. You've been welcoming in new ideas. You've been exploring yourself from new angles. Some of you may have gotten very pigeonholed into saying, I am this, I'm not this. I think this, I don't think this. It's been very rigid. It's been very polarizing. There we go. I was like, dualistic, yes, but no. Very polarizing. Like it's and we all do this, especially the older we get, the less of that sweet neuroplasticity that we have. We can be prone to falling into these dichotomous kind of ways of thinking. And we can lack a little bit of that, again, that flexibility in order to hold a very nuanced and balanced perspective on issues, particularly on ourselves. That was channeled. That was fun. So for some of you, like I said, you've really been doing this work. You've been maybe unpacking old beliefs that have been kind of handed down to you. You may have been like, you may have been unpacking old family stories, old family issues, and this is kind of what's at the heart of, like, you know, revisiting these issues with those family members, or we'll talk more about it in a minute. But you've been doing this work, you've been expanding your perception of self, and as a result, I do feel like you guys are getting some type of idea or some type of offer, something that you're gonna want to move forward with. I feel like you guys are, it's getting brought to you, as opposed to you going and seeking it out, because I feel like you've done the seeking internally, and now as a result that you're sitting kind of very confidently in yourself, in who you are. You know yourself. You're not afraid to stand by, you know, your authentic self. This is where this is being brought to you, right? You've healed your emotional foundations, and I say that too because of the Magician in the 4th house. We'll talk about it in a little bit. You've healed your emotional foundations, and as a result now, you are about to reap some pretty significant abundance. I do want to pull a card about this, because it's not just material. Okay. Well, shit. 2 of Cups. All right. So for some of you, like I said, this is very significantly, about work, right? The Empress is bordering the 9th and 10th house. This is very much a career house. But to clarify, the 10 of Pentacles, which is squarely in the 9th house, not squarely in an astrological way. I'm realizing the problem with my word. To clarify that, we have the 2 of Cups. So for some of you, you've healed your emotional foundations, and now this abundance that's coming in is a partnership. I know a lot of people are burnt out on love readings. A lot of people are burnt out on love. I get that. I could say a lot about it, but my quickest response is that this is a time where we are, as a collective, purging a lot of old beliefs about self, old beliefs about relationships. We've done a lot of healing work, which has been, kind of on the, excuse my burp. I was like, I know I have a burp stuck. This has been sort of on the heels of a lot of deconstruction work, a lot of tearing things down. And that's painful and that's difficult. So many of us are healing from that process, and healing stronger, healing better. And so a lot of us are like burnt out on the idea of love right now because of what we've experienced. And I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. But this is, for some of you, this is what's coming in. Now, for some of you, this is a soul-aligned opportunity, right? So for some of you, you have done the work and you're attracting in your dream job. You're attracting in that contract, for some of you, that you've been really wanting. And again, it's very like material. For some of you, this is, with a family member who is also part of your soul family, and you're healing the relationship. For some of you, because the Empress in these 2 cards, some of you, you're going to be finding out that you're pregnant or that your partner's pregnant. So if that's a happy thing, congratulations. But, or some of you, you're talking with a partner about starting a family, and this is what you decide to do. There's longevity and there's commitment here and here. So for some of you, that's what this abundance is you're sitting pretty to come into union with some significant soul partnerships, right? And these will be very long-term, abundant partnerships of any kind, whether it's romantic. For some of you, this is a business partner who's also part of your soul family. For some of you, this is like I said, you might be having a child that's also that's a soulmate to you. And for some of you, this is talking about soul tribe, soul family. That's going to help you do your spiritual work, right? That's going to be, you're destined to be partnered with. You're destined to do work with. So this is going to be like a really beautiful thing coming into your reality. I want to pull a card for, because this is a big thing. This is going to have a lot of longevity to it. But I wanted to pull a card to look at kind of like what might be a signal to you over the next week that this is the, this is the thing, this is the person, this is the opportunity. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. So more emphasis on work. This is something that you've either been working very hard toward. So you'll be like, yeah, I know. Like if you've been doing a lot of emotional self-work and you've been wanting to call in a solid partnership, you're like, yeah, I know. Again, huge focus on work here. So this could be at work, revolving around material stability. You could be working really hard. I'm getting with the pentacles pinned to the tree. You could be like, if you have, a holiday tree in your home or you're putting one up, this could be happening while you're putting up your tree. But this also could be just happening while you're working really, really hard. And you're kind of like really focused in and honed in on what you're doing. For some of you, you're going to have time off with the holidays and you're going to have time to invest in a hobby, right? You're going to do something you love doing. And this will be part of that kind of like part of that process. This will get the ball rolling, so to speak. So I did just want to kind of clarify that. Now, let's talk about this little fat stacks here. Leo energy with the strength. So the kind of underpinning or what's at the center of everything this week, we had the Five of Swords clarified by the Strength card. There's been a lot of conflict. I actually want to pull about this too because I'm nosy. I realized I hadn't like mixed them around for a bit. Oh, it's this one. Okay, nice. The Ace of Wands. So for some of you, I feel like there's this new beginning, and it centers around taking back your power, right? And we see this with the Magician as well, because both of these are very much about personal power. So at the center of your week, however, whatever areas of life this manifests for you, because again, if it's in the center, this can apply to any and all areas. This may be a direct conflict with a Leo, or if you're the Leo, like a direct conflict with somebody else. There are 3 people depicted on this card, so this could be you and 2 other people. But more than anything else, I feel like what you've been trying to work out, what's at the center of everything, is conflict over something that you want, right? Over a new beginning. And this beginning is very much wrapped up in how you express your personal power. So this could be where there are power struggles between you and another person. This could be about an opportunity and you're kind of like, where, do I do it? Do I not? There's fear that's holding you back. There's doubt. There's uncertainty. For some, this is all about, like you're just feeling like you need a change with the Ace of Wands. You need a change of pace. You need fresh energy. You're just like looking to get motivated again, right? Or you're feeling a burst of motivation. You're like, you know what? Like, I'm not fighting myself over this anymore. I'm going to do it. The Strength card is about those better qualities that we have, our patience, our compassion, our understanding, our unconditional love, things like that. These are the things we got to dig deep for sometimes, even in those moments when we're tired, when we're frustrated, right? When we're being very triggered with that Five of Swords. We dig deep with that Strength card and we find those things within ourselves, right? That can also talk about emotional self-discipline. So there's something where I feel like you've been grappling with this for a while. This can be, like I said, arguments with other people where it's a power struggle. For some of you, this is deciding when to take a leap on something, when to begin something new, and you kind of been waiting for the right moment. There's a mountain in the background of this card, so I feel like you've had a significant personal obstacle that you've had to address and deal with and overcome in order to be able to move forward. And that may have been what this blockage was. And that blockage, that personal obstacle, may have really been about like interpersonal power struggles, particularly in communication, right? Because the Five of Swords, I hate the Five of Swords, it's awful. But the Five of Swords is basically, you're dealing with petty people who will lash out when they're triggered. People who will say something in the moment just to get, kind of like push your buttons, and they don't realize that they're so focused on winning the argument, right? So focused on winning the battle, they don't realize they're losing the war, which is essentially like they're so focused on winning in any given moment, on getting their way, on feeling like they came out on top in a power struggle, that they don't realize they're damaging their relationships, possibly irreparably. They also don't realize that they're making it a power struggle when it doesn't need to be, right? I feel like if this involves other people, you've been very patient with this person. You've been incredibly patient with this person. And so for some of you, your patience is paying off. There is a new opportunity. This person, if this is people that you're dealing with, whether at work, partnerships, family, you and this person are getting a new beginning. You and this person are getting a renewal. This person will come to you and be like, you know what? I'm sorry, I was being an ass. Or like, I'm sorry, I was putting my stuff on you. This has nothing to do with you. This person will take accountability, which is very nice. Now, for some of you, and I'm saying this because the person on the Five of Swords is looking this way and she's looking down. For some of you, you have had to be really patient and, stay strong and kind of stay, I'm getting poised almost, right? carry yourself with a lot, a regalness to it. It's Leo. I don't know what that is. But carry yourself with a lot of grace and poise. And I feel like this is like you haven't stooped to their level. You haven't been giving in to the desire to clap back at them. And this is where you're trying to diffuse the situation. You're trying to, if this person's trying to make it a power struggle, you're almost like equally strong in refusing to engage in that way with them. Because you know what you want, you know who you are, you know your Empress energy here, again, regardless of gender identity or expression. You know what you're bringing to the table. And I feel like a lot of you have been doing work around not personalizing what people have to say and recognizing that most of the time people's issues are a projection of what's going on for them internally, and they're not usually as tied up in your behavior as that person wants you to think it is, if that makes sense. And so this is paying off. You're getting this kind of fresh sort of wave of motivation. I feel like with yourself though, right? If this is somebody who's combative with you and they're not coming to you with an apology or the desire to kind of start fresh, and kind of like owning their, taking responsibility and owning their stuff. This is where I feel like you're just carrying on with your own stuff. And you're kind of, I feel like this has been a burden for you more recently, where it's like, I just don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm running out of ideas. This is, I don't understand why somebody would act like this. I feel like you're letting it go this week. And you're like, you know what? I don't need to understand why you're acting the way you do. I need to take space. I need to go focus on my own stuff. I need to free up the energy that I was using dealing with you to go deal with other things that are more important in my life right now. And so this is kind of like at the center of this is like, you know what? Whether this is with other people or within yourself, excuse my burp, there's this energy here of, you know what? I'm not giving into chaos. I'm not giving into pettiness. I'm not giving into worry, doubt. I'm not going to cause, inner turmoil or accept the inner turmoil somebody's trying to project at me. I'm going to seize my power. I'm going to do what I love. I'm going to do what I'm passionate about. And I'm going to let that be the energy that fuels my life, not this lower vibrational crap. And this is what's unlocking a lot of different things for you. Because I see with the Three of Swords clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, again, mostly in the first house, but there's a little bit in the 12th house. The 12th house is, the last house of the zodiac, the first house being the first. And this is, about a lot of different things, but the kind of intersection here, this is a wrap up and then the rebirth and the new beginning, right? The first house is the house of the self. And the 12th house deals a lot with illusions, but one of the things that I think is really important about the 12th house that we kind of, that's coming more into focus, especially as Saturn's getting ready to transit into Pisces, which I think hasn't happened yet. I'll look up the specific dates because I can't remember exactly when. I usually have them on a little board nearby, but I have forgotten to update the board. So this is good inspiration. But the 12th house can kind of deal, with illusions, with secrecy, but with a sublimation of power as well. And as a result, it's understanding hierarchical power structures and how we relate to them, which is a mirror of how we understand our own power. And this is, again, we see this with the Ace of Wands and the Magician. So with this Three of Swords kind of bordering this, but mostly being in the first house, you guys are going through this rebirth process, and this is that healing, right? You guys are kind of like going through this rebirth process, and I feel like you're making your way mostly through it, where you're kind of looking at your own personal power. You look at where you've been investing, right? I feel like a lot of you, it's like, do I want to invest in things that hurt me? Because the Three of Swords can also be where, it is heartbreak, but it's heartbreak that you're just like kind of rehashing over and over and over again. And I feel like there's this recognition with this Five of Swords, dead ass in the middle here, where you're like, I get the choice of what I want to engage in and what I want to cultivate more of in my life. And I have chosen things, people, thoughts, beliefs that, patterns of behavior that have kept me hurting and kept me stuck, right? That have kept me going over it in my mind a million times, thinking about what I could have done, right? For some of you with the Seven of Pentacles here, there's, you're waiting to see if there's that blue jay, he's back. You're waiting to see, he's so loud too, oh my gosh. And now he's just looking straight at me. Hi, buddy. you're looking to see if you've invested a lot of time and energy in something, and you're kind of like looking to see if it's worth continuing, right? And for some of you, this has been a situation where, because these feel very similar, this has been a situation where you've had to be very patient, a situation where there's been a lot of heartbreak, a lot of heartache here. And I feel like you guys are kind of trying to figure out if it's going to turn out, like if it will pan out for you, right? There's a question of, do I keep investing in this? Will this ever improve, right? Is this going to be worthwhile? I want to pull kind of a clarifier about these because I feel like this could go one of, nice, the sun. I somehow knew it was going to be the sun. I don't know why. More Leo energy here. Okay. So for some of you, yeah, you're making this decision. You're like assessing if a situation is really going to be healthy for you, right? You're assessing. I think there's been a lot of heartbreak. There's been a lot of pain in this situation, but it's been a period of growth as well. And so with the sun kind of coming out, in addition to these two cards, you're looking at this again. You're evaluating this again as you're thinking about next steps. And you're kind of like, okay, do I want to keep investing in this, right? Do I think this will yield happiness now, or is it just going to yield more heartbreak, right? Is investing in this situation keeping me stuck or leading me to something better? And this is what you're asking yourself. And you're asking yourself, I think you've been asking yourself this for a while, but you're asking yourself this with a new perspective because your perspective on your personal power is shifting. Your perspective on who you are is shifting. And thus you're kind of re-examining all these different facets in your life and saying, what am I feeding through my energy, my attention, my emotions, my actions, my resources, my investment, right? What am I feeding here? Again, very Empress energy. Like, what am I feeding in my life? And looking at it, like looking at the energy expenditure as kind of like an input-output loop, or as like an investment, I think is what's changing things for you, because there's this recognition of, I know what I deserve, so now I'm going to reevaluate and be willing to further scrutinize my, the things in my life to make sure, like, I know who I am, I know what I deserve, I'm going to make sure that everything else in my life knows it too, is kind of what is coming through here. So for some of you, you're really going to be evaluating and assessing this. And for some of you, what you're evaluating and assessing is who you used to be versus who you feel you're becoming. You may have been somebody who is very defined by a lot of heartbreak, who has been very sad for a really long time. Somebody who has, it's like somebody who's experienced heartbreak in a significant way. And then that's kind of been at the center, right, with his Five of Swords, the center of your life, right? One of the kind of primary struggles of your life has been overcoming this heartbreak. And the thing is, because there's been a lot of healing, we see this with the Magician in the fourth house, which I'll talk about in a moment. Because there's been a lot of healing, I feel like you're looking at yourself differently. I mean, like, okay, what if the major plot point of my life isn't about surviving, isn't about being strong like that, right? Isn't about like finding meaning necessarily or having purpose, but it's about happiness. It's about finding joy. That's what the sun is all about, right? What if the purpose of my life is to be happy? What if the purpose of my life, the main plot point of my life from this point on out, is to be abundant, to be connected, to really actually enjoy life and all it has to offer? And I feel like you're opening yourself up to a different perspective of yourself. You're opening yourself up to a new version of self. And this is, I'm hearing, radically important for you. Like, this is different. I feel like for a lot of you, this is different. The questions you're asking yourself, the way you're starting to see yourself, the questions you're asking about your life that you're looking into, like, you're scrutinizing through this lens of, these are different than you've ever asked before. And thus you're going to get different answers and different results. And again, it kind of all centers around this Magician in the fourth house. Some of you, very literally, you are finally manifesting a home. I do see that here. Some of you are reconnecting, you're spending time with family, and this is going to be a really empowering, invigorating process, not process for you, situation, I guess I'll say, for lack of a better term. This will be very like healing. This will be really energizing. You're really going to like this. Like I said, some of you are, you've been manifesting having your own family, or having greater, having a partnership that is joined at that level, right? So whether, you're getting like highly committed, you're moving in with this person, you're talking about kids together. Some of you have been manifesting that, and some of you have been directly manifesting having children. So like I said, some of you are going to be conceiving or finding out that you're pregnant, finding out that your partner's pregnant, because you've been manifesting this family. But what this mostly says to me more than anything else, especially with all the other messages, the fourth house is our emotional foundations. It's our home. It's our family. It's who we are behind closed doors, right? It's who we are when we're at rest as well, right? You have healed your emotional foundations effectively. And it's not saying you'll never have moments of shadow, but generally speaking, a lot of you, if you're seeing this message, you have done the majority of the healing work. At the very least, you've hit this like breakthrough point where it's no longer an uphill battle the whole way. It's finally kind of like plateauing out, or finally kind of like, on the other side of it. And I say this all the time anyway, but when we heal these emotional foundations within ourselves, that is the basis to manifest and then be able to maintain everything that we want in life. So the fact that we have the master manifestor with the magician here is like perfect. I thought that was so funny. But no, you've really come into your own. You've healed. And not only can this open you up to manifesting whatever you want, we see this over here too, but you've really taken your power back in an area of your life where I feel like you've spent a long time feeling powerless, especially to other people, and especially to other people's words, their thoughts of you, their opinions of you that have cut you very, very deeply, that have been hurtful to you. And I think you've had to endure for a really long time. But this feels like a turning point where, and I feel like it's been coming to this for a while, but you guys are seeing it now in a new light, where the purpose of your life isn't just to survive it anymore, it's to enjoy it. It's to thrive, it's to blossom, it's to grow. It's to be, to walk in the sun and enjoy it. And I don't know. So I feel like as a result, this is a week where, you are getting potentially offers. You're spending time with loved ones. I feel like if there are arguments, these arguments are being put to rest, put to bed. And a lot of you are just letting go of, it's not even a situation, but you're letting go of the story that you've been telling yourself. You're letting go of a narrative that you've had for a really long time. Even if that means embracing uncertainty as you're figuring out who you are now, right? It's your main character energy, like who you are now. And that means you might not have all the answers, and that's okay. And I feel like you guys are becoming okay with not knowing, becoming okay with exploring, and becoming okay with defining who you are for yourself, right? Figuring it out as you go. So this is no longer about healing the cracks in your emotional foundations as much as it is about building. You're now actively building. So congratulations. I want to pull you guys, I don't know why, like one final little card here. Actually, there's two. There's these two. Yeah, okay, there we go. So the Ace of Cups, the Four of Swords. Yeah, exactly. Healing your emotions. You have done the healing work, right? And as a result, with the Ace of Cups, you are about to get a very, very beautiful offer. Like I said, for some of you, this is love. This is a dream job. This is a promotion. This is, a new family member on the way. This is a reconciliation, an apology. This will be different for all of you. I feel like there's a wide variety of circumstances, finally getting your dream home, things like that. But this is something that your heart has been wanting for a really long time, even if it's like, material, tangible, it's work related. This will make you very emotionally satisfied and happy. It's going to be like, emotional abundance here. So this is everything I've got for you this week. This is beautiful, you guys. I'm super duper happy for the collective. We all need this, I think. But yeah. This is everything I've got. I'm wishing you guys a safe, happy, healthy, abundant week ahead. I love you to pieces, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.